Getting back to my little personal project, I took most of the week off for Thanksgiving and just got to appreciate my immediate family since travel has become so much more difficult. Always good to take personal time if you need it, and nothing gets me recharged like hanging out with my people, safely and responsibly of course. I spent some time just enjoying the road instead of pushing myself in ranked and daily races, and it was well worth it. Definitely think I should do more VR drives, even if it's just in GT Sport for now, as the T300 support in Drive Club VR is kinda doo-doo, and Drive Club in general, really. The tougher cars and tracks really proved to be engaging on levels I hadn't really anticipated, and I dig that a lot. This really makes me want to get my PC VR ready, but more on that at a later date. Meanwhile, this past week, I got back in my head and tried to internalize my last week of racing and be more controlled. The main issue, as noted in the last episode, was being over-aggressive and not leaving enough space to cars in front and around me. Heading into the first round of the Manufacturers Series, I raced with much less aggression, only to get swallowed up in the first few laps of last Wednesday's race. I immediately recognized this, turned up the wick a bit, got my elbows out, only to overdo it again at the exit of Parabolica in the first race. It seemed luck was not only not on my side that day, but in a whole nother area code. Another attempt with a fair amount of aggression and poise had a worse qualifying result, but even with perseverance and a strong opening lap, my HDMI cable failed early on in the race. That's what you're seeing on screen now. I did muster enough luck to fix it before DQing, but still got pushed off later in the race after trying to charge back up. Happens, I guess.
I feel like I genuinely delivered.
Close out the race in P15, for sure a bit underwhelming, and I really only had this to say about it afterward.
My end.
I think I just got caught in the wrong place way too many times, and I also need to fix my whole HDMI cable situation. So I'm going to get right on that before I do any more online racing, and then I'll hopefully see you guys next time. I hadn't really put enough energy into preparing and doing it right, so ultimately it really comes back to me. Unfortunate, but I did have my reasons. I've been preparing for a 12-hour kart race, 12 hours, for several weeks now, and the race date finally was coming upon us. There was a lot to take in over the 2-day weekend, and my body is still bruised from the affair. We had a team full of drivers new to endurance racing, but we put on a fair show and qualified second in our class, thanks to some low fuel runs late in the Q session by yours truly. We were all a bit concerned on pace, but there wasn't much more to do than give it our best and just keep going. I led the opening stint and it was so much fun to run to my kart, but the best part had to be the double stint late in the morning. It was that magic moment where everything clicked and I was able to just set fast laps, get a good handle on overtaking other drivers, and really soak in the race. We had a lot of pit stops to make in order to hit our required minimum driver changes, so none of the stints were too long, maybe 18 minutes or so. But most of the team really wanted to get down to the double stints, and all of us did but one of the drivers. I don't think we all had the pace, I don't think we had all the pace, within the team, but I had a wonderful time just getting to grips with everything and setting some pretty competitive laps with higher rated drivers in the S2 and S1 classes. We did end up qualifying second in our SE class, but we wound up fourth at the end of the night and 33rd overall, if I'm not mistaken, which was not bad for a bunch of novices such as ourselves. And I truly hope to make something like this happen again when I can, as nothing quite compares to the real sense of adrenaline in the seat of a flying metal death trap, no matter what it is and how fast you're going. Like, I've definitely gone a lot faster, but like when you're on the edge, and it feels insane. Anyway, getting back to kind of the core tenets of what needs to be done, I gotta try and strike a balance within the sim itself, and the only way I'm gonna do that is to take things slowly, practice, and get there in my own time. The real world stuff went great because I took the time, and that's exactly what's needed here at home. So until then, I'll be taking a short break and trying to focus in on my methodology in order to do better in the hot seat and remain competitive. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of this one. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe for more of my ramblings. I will be around, but until then, take care, race fair, and have an awesome day, guys.